Welcome to Zenful Conversations, ladies. Thank you so much for coming by. We're here in this community for women every single day. We're in our 6th year, and this conversation, which has been a practice in strengthening our relationship with ourselves and all what that comes with. We've had some incredible conversations over the past years, and I appreciate you being here and sharing in that. This year, it is changed to a bit of a practice. So that's why we're asking to slow it up, release stimulation, whatever's going on. I mean, within reason, sometimes we have to come back. But drop in, allow yourself to come into this beautiful body and be here with yourself for a few breaths and hear this incredible message. The message that's offered to us by Mark Nepo in the Book of Awakening. The Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. This New York Times bestseller is described as having the life you want by being present to the life that you have. So he asks us to practice this year. Strengthen our practice is what we're doing. The message we're offered for this day number 1852 is titled Opposing Voices. Opposing Voices. Let the opposing voices in your head speak. They are only finding their part in a larger, yet to be heard song. How lovely is that? Let's hear it again. Let the opposing voices in your head speak. They are only finding their part in a larger, yet to be heard song. Being alive is a paradox, an ongoing mix of things that on the surface don't seem to always make sense. But voicing what doesn't seem to make sense helps. It's like an orchestra tuning up to play together. We have no chance of discovering the fullness of our inner music if we don't let the players in our hearts and minds and spirits tune. This makes me think of we need to take a step in order to see further. We don't have to know the whole plan. Just taking that step. So we don't know if voicing that opinion is part of the step. Often, confusion is the tension of trying to make sense of things too soon, before enough of the inner players have learned their parts. Often, experience is the way that the heart and mind and spirit practice what they need to play. So let's hear that again. Often the confusion is that the tension of trying to make sense of things too soon, trying to figure it all out, wrestle it to the ground, as Darcy says. Try to make sense of things too soon, before enough of the inner players have learned their parts. And often experience is the way that the heart and the mind and the spirit practice what they need to play. Let's breathe with that for a second, for a breath. Let's pause here for a minute with that. recognizing this figuring it out thing instead of letting it show us that I believe. Isn't the trial of our relationships the time it takes for the heart to practice its part in the movement that we call love? Isn't the trail, not trial. Let me say it again. Isn't the trail of our relationships the time it takes for the heart to practice its part in the movement we call love? Isn't the trail of our honest questions the time it takes for the mind to practice its part in the movement we call wisdom? Isn't the trail of our changing beliefs the time it takes for the spirit to practice its part in the movement we call God? Do you feel the power in these messages? And isn't our trail of oneness, those brief moments when everything comes together, isn't this the time it takes for love and wisdom and God to bring the commonplace in us alive? Wow, okay. Opposing voices, letting ourselves speak. This is a guided thought meditation. So allow yourself to be present for it. Center yourself and bring into view an issue that carries indecision or confusion for you right now. So allow yourself to come into your breath and center yourself. There's no judgment in this space, only love. Bring into view an issue that carries indecision or confusion. Something like that for you right now. And though it will feel initially chaotic, breathe slowly and let the opposing views of this issue bubble up uncensored. I once was at a meditation and they suggested to visualize this as two experts in fields. One expert was the expert of this side of the equation, and the other was an expert in this one, and they both discussed it out, hashed it out, as you would say. They just, and merely observing. And it says to take your time here, to breathe slowly, let the opposing views of this issue bubble up uncensored within you, to take your time, Breathe deeply and let the opposing energies play themselves out. Rather than struggle to understand how these things go together, breathe steadily and as if each energy is an instrument. Feel the duet they are trying to play in you. And enter your day humming that tune now. That, I think, needs to be a longer meditation for me. But I think it sounds like a beautiful one. These messages, they actually speak for themselves. Like, I remember all these other years, if they would say things in the message and we would talk about it. And I'm like, I don't have anything to say. They're leaving me speechless and they're so profound that I'm trying to regain composure after feeling this. Thanks so much for being here and sharing in this practice today. Thanks for practicing this together. Please visit zenfulconversations.com. Take a look around and maybe sign up for something. Otherwise, we'll see you here tomorrow in deep and honest gratitude. Namaste.